Hello, friends and Exo fans. If you are listening to this down the line, this release coincides with the arrival of COVID-19, the novel coronavirus, to the United States. For at least the next couple of weeks, we won't be recording any new episodes. We will continue releasing them, though. There's this episode and another special episode in the can, and I'll be working to get that out as soon as I am able. Now, many of you are working from home. Others aren't working at all. This is going to be a difficult time for many, and the most I can do here, trapped in my apartment, sitting at my desk, is to wish you and those you love safety and comfort. Part of why I created this show was to demonstrate how human beings, ordinary people like you and I, are able to push forward even through the worst of circumstances. How we can all move forward if we maintain our humanity and care for others along the way. This introduction is usually where I mention our Patreon feature. It's at patreon.com/exoplanetary if you care to look. Today, though, I would like for you to consider making a donation, even a small one, if you're able, to organizations in your area that are helping the most vulnerable. Elders, families with no income, people with no roof over their heads, and so on. I trust you to research who is doing the best work in your area and offer them a few dollars, or pounds, or euros, or whatever your money is where you are in the world. If it's safe for you to do so, you might even think about volunteering. I re-emphasize, please do so safely. Thank you. With that done, here's the show, in which we introduce a new character, Calvert goes too far, and more trouble brews. I'll check in with you afterward. Wash your hands, disinfect your listening device, and please enjoy. Exoplanetary, the adventures of the spacefaring Wolverton family and their friends far in the future. Tonight's episode, Nikumaroro.
On July 2nd, 1937, Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, in their second attempt to circumnavigate the Earth, dropped radio contact mid-flight between Papua New Guinea and Howland Island. Running low on fuel and unable to hear replies to her final radio transmissions, Earhart's Lockheed L-10 Electra was believed to have crashed into the South Pacific. Rescue efforts were swift but unsuccessful. Despite decades of theories and investigation, the exact reasons for Earhart's disappearance and her precise fate have never been determined.
Hello?
Oh!
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm here to help. How long have you been here?
3 days.
Where's Fred?
Dead, I presume.
I'm sorry.
Fred knew the risk, as did I. I was able to swim to shore. He wasn't. I didn't hear your boat, or I would have come to meet you.
I didn't come by boat.
Then how did you come here? Who are you? Where am I?
Right now, this is known as Gardner Island. Later, it's named Nikumaroro. The evidence suggested that I might find you here.
I am glad you're here. Well, that's an understatement. Let's not waste any time. I'm ravenous. Did you bring any water? Anything to eat?
Oh, no.
Strike one. How far are we from something I can eat or drink? Did I mention I have been here for 3 days?
Yeah, you did.
How far?
I couldn't rightly say.
Strike 2. You did come all this way with a plan to get me back to civilization, did you not? You're not just stranded here with me, making you as useless as a chocolate teapot. Oh, God, I could use some chocolate.
No chocolate, but yes, I do have a plan.
Ball 1. What's your name, mister?
My name is Calvert Wolverton.
What brings you here? And don't tell me the weather. You said you didn't have a boat. I would have heard an airplane, and God help you if you're a balloonist.
Why?
Because hot air balloons are asinine.
Oh.
And I'd be able to see it from here.
Right. Well, I'm a scientist from the future, centuries from now. I traveled to this time using a technology that doesn't exist in 1937. You okay?
Mr. What was it? Wolverton?
Yes, Calvert Wolverton.
Mr. Wolverton, are you one of these men who think women don't have the sense God gave a goose?
Oh, no.
That women are somehow inferior to men?
Oh.
That we're only good for popping out kids and fixing supper?
No, not at all, not at all.
You don't? Then why are you trying to fill my ears with this L. Frank Baum nonsense, sir? I am not a child, you are not a scarecrow, and this is not the marvelous land of Oz, sir.
Of course not. Yes, I have the highest respect for you. I'm like you in a way, a pioneer. You were the first woman to complete a transatlantic flight. I'm the first human to discover practical time travel.
Prove it.
What?
If you're an explorer from the future, you can probably prove what you say.
Well, it's not that easy.
Neither is pissing in a jar at 10,000 feet.
I take your point. I probably shouldn't do this, but... Hello. Was I late? Right on time.
I saw a magician do this once. They were twin brothers.
Well, she's not easy to please. She can do as she pleases. She's nobody's fool. This might help, though. Oh, that hurt. Oh. Nothing broken? Just my pride. Let's help him up and dust him off. No. Probably best if we don't touch each other. I can manage.
I'll admit, it's a very convincing illusion.
Did she just call this an illusion? Lady, I scraped my palms. It hurts like hell, too. She's had a stressful day.
You have no idea.
The point is, we accomplished this using time travel. Back to one again. Oh, it's a fun party trick, but probably not something I should do too often. Too much potential for calamity.
I could be delusional. I am starving and incredibly dehydrated.
I know. I wish I thought to pack a lunch, but the idea came to me and I got excited.
What do you mean?
Well, time traveling doesn't have the same glory as being an aviator. For one thing, it's more dangerous.
Now is probably not the time or place to suggest that flying isn't dangerous, Mr. Wolverton.
No, I mean,
Fred
obviously...
is gone, damn it! But where there's life, there's hope. You'll take me home and I can tell them all how brave he was. What's that look?
Well, I need for you to understand something very important. I can rescue you, but you can never see anyone you've ever known again.
What?
Let me try to put this in a way that you'd understand. Lincoln, right? Assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, 1863 to the math. It's 35 years before you were born.
I don't understand what you mean.
What if I, a time traveler, were to show up at Ford's Theater, cold cock Booth, take his gun, and let Lincoln enjoy the end of the show? Well?
Well, now I'm wondering why you haven't done that yet.
That's the point. Time travelers can visit the past, but we can't affect the big parts of history.
In the case of Lincoln, his tragedy is too important to history for it to be changed. Now, if we were to save him, it would mean either that he dies in another tragedy, or it changes everything that happened afterwards, which creates a paradox.
You're ignoring one thing. I'm not Lincoln.
Lincoln wasn't Lincoln until he did the amazing things that made him Lincoln.
What do you mean?
I hate to break it to you, but this is your big moment. From your perspective, decades after Lincoln's death, his assassination is the tragic end to his story. For me, and the other people who lived past the summer of 1937, the disappearance of Amelia Earhart remains a compelling and abiding mystery.
Disappearance? As in, never found?
There are many attempts, a century of them. They never definitively find your body. There are always questions, doubts, theories, but it's never certain.
Sit down.
If I were to be discovered, it would change your time.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
But that wouldn't change my time.
No?
No, of course not. I'm alive here and now. What happens to me now has no bearing on anything other than my life.
You know, you're forgetting the laws of cause and effect. Imagine a row of dominoes. They symbolize the events that lead from today all the way to the day that I invent time travel. If you're alive and well in Honolulu tomorrow, that changes the path of those dominoes, or maybe even removes them altogether. I never discovered time travel. Maybe I'm not even born. And then there's no rescue, is there?
All due respect, I find that unlikely. You're here now.
I am. But if I change time, I might create a paradox that leads to much bigger problems.
What are my options here? If you can't rescue me, what's the point of you being here?
I can rescue you. I want to re-emphasize that. I can bring you to the future. Yeah, you could even live openly as Amelia Earhart. Tell the story of your disappearance. Sell a book. Maybe a video game. Probably not a flight simulator, but...
A new life in a strange world.
Yes. You will miss your loved ones, the people you know.
Oh, my husband.
Right. But you'll be alive. And well. Better than well, really. You'll be a celebrity of a different type.
And yet, I hesitate.
But why?
I hesitate for a very important reason, Mr. Wolverton. I don't trust you.
You don't?
I do not. Not one whit, sir.
Well, why not?
Mr. Wolverton, to be a woman in my position, a woman who is determined to live and be taken seriously in this man's world, I've taken the measure of many gadflies, charlatans, and bunco sharpies, and you, sir, are raising my hackles like the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Right. I see.
Even if I were to take your fantasy as plausible, I can see in your eyes there's something you're not telling me.
What would satisfy your doubts?
The truth would be a good start.
The truth. Well, the truth seems very simple on the outside. It's on the inside where it gets sticky. I mean, you used to promote Lucky Strike cigarettes. How many did you smoke?
Not a one. I donated that money. Regretted it ever since. You're not getting to the point, Mr. Wolverton.
Fine. If we're going to be honest, I'm going to call you Amelia, and I'm going to ask you to call me Calvert.
Fine.
Yeah, the truth is, Amelia, is that I'm terrible at my job.
Go on.
It took me a long time to admit it to myself, that sticky feeling inside, that hot tar that burns you as you feel your way through it. When I started time traveling, I thought that my genius would serve me there as well as it did in my workshop. But inventing a machine is different from being a great adventurer.
True enough. You prepare, and misfortune happens anyway.
I made a friend in another century. We became separated. By the time I caught up with her, we'd been apart for over 3 decades. She spent her life fighting a horrible war, The same paradox that prevents me from taking you to civilization in 1937 also prevents me from going back to save her.
I see.
Another woman, she and I were lovers. I became separated from her. I also encountered a woman who claimed to be an alternate version of me from another history. And then I became president of the United States. And then my time travel machine became part of my body. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I don't really know what I'm doing.
Each time we make a choice, we pay with courage to behold the restless day and count it fair.
Who said that?
Me. I sometimes write poetry.
It's very nice.
It's good for a pilot, you mean?
No, I liked it.
Yes. So, because you've made something of a mess of your life, you want to rescue me and take me to the future.
Sort of.
There's more? Oh, murder.
Well, I just happened to have read a book about you.
A book? Was it one of mine?
No.
Oh.
But I'd like to.
You don't have to.
Right. Well, there are a lot of books about you. Your disappearance tends to overshadow your other accomplishments.
Really? Famous for being dead? That's revolting.
Presumed dead.
That doesn't help.
Right. Well, with my last two friends, I brought them with me because I enjoyed showing off. I wanted to bring you to a time and place where you could resume your life if you chose. You could be public or private. You could find something new to do with your life.
Instead of dying here.
Yes.
I've noticed that you only time travel with women.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
This isn't the first time a stranger has tried to sweep me off my feet.
Oh, no, that's not.
It is a bit beastly of you to wait until I'm marooned in the South Pacific to look me up.
I assure you.
I mean, if all you wanted to do was jazz, you could have just traveled to a while ago and invited me out to dinner or something.
Jazz, I just... Wait, aren't you married?
Oh, sweetie, not that married.
Oh.
George gets married again, right?
George?
Putnam?
Oh.
My husband? Keep up, Wolverton.
Yes, twice.
Well, good for him. I suppose I'll be able to look up what happens to everyone I know. That is, if I'm still as famous as you say.
Oh, absolutely. You're very famous. In fact, even centuries into the future.
I sort of enjoy the idea of becoming famous again.
Yeah. All you need to do is come with me.
So how do we do this? You just whip, travel on your own?
Yes, I can, but I still have passengers hold on to the device, just in case.
Just in case you drop me through the looking glass.
In a way, yes. If you hold on to it, it would be easier for me to find you.
Well, then let's go. I'm ready for takeoff. What city is this? Have I been here before?
Well, we're on the moon. The city covers most of the surface.
Oh. Well, that must take some of the romance out of it back on Earth with all this neon and moving pictures.
It looks different, but most people are here now. Young lovers stroll under the earthlight.
And to think, you want me to make a new life in this strange place.
It wouldn't make it easier. This society only values something it can sell.
Well, if that's true, what good am I? I can't even sell cigarettes.
You have a story. You have perspectives. The super corporations, they'll gobble that right up.
Well, what if I don't want that?
Well, I can give you a place to stay and an apartment that I keep here. I have money you can use until you find work of your own, and it would be easy, but you've got it in you to do anything.
Perhaps it's best if I think carefully before I make my next move.
Perhaps.
Why are you laughing at me?
I'm just enjoying the contrast between the two Amelia Earharts, the poised public figure versus the adventurer and aviator.
Women shouldn't be afraid to be whatever they need to be in the moment. We can fly. We can vote. We can still vote, right?
Well, women's suffrage lasted until everyone left the earth. The corporations just banned democracy for everyone. Saved time.
What year is this, anyway?
Oh, not sure. The 26th century, at any rate. And that's why I need to leave soon.
Leave? Now? We just got here.
A corporation named Exoplanetary wants to get their hands on my time travel technology. I try to stay out of this century so they don't find me.
A fugitive? Well, Mr. Wolverton, I knew you for a scoundrel, and it seems I was right.
I can't let them get time travel. They'd use it irresponsibly.
Taking historical figures out of the past? That sort of thing?
Touché. I did what I did because I felt that it might be a good deed. I need to start making things right, if I can.
People die every day, Calvert. There's doing good deeds, and then there's playing God.
Well, if somebody's going to play God, then it should probably be somebody who knows the rules, shouldn't it?
Making the rules up as you go isn't knowing the rules, Calvert.
The fewer people messing with history, the better.
Some people are no good at holding still. In your case, you ought to make the effort. You run too fast, you're going to smack into something, and hard.
Probably. Look, I need to get going. You'll need this.
A coin?
Sort of. It lets you into the apartment. It gives you control over the devices. Don't worry, I have the privacy settings hacked. You won't be spied on by Exoplanetary, if you were concerned.
Well, I wasn't, but I am now.
The apartment is run by, I'll explain, computers, talking machines. You can ask them for what you need.
Like servants?
Yeah, exactly. This disc is also what you use to pay for things if you decide to go exploring.
Won't you return?
Oh, well, I might. Time to time, I check in. But like I said, I tend to avoid this century if I can.
But what if I need you?
Just tell the servant. Yeah, the house will know how to get in touch with me.
I see.
I'll be in touch, though I'm sure I will. Look, have fun with it. And drop me a line if you need anything. I really should be going. I'll see you around.
Yes. Farewell, Calvert.
Goodbye, Amelia.
Goodbye? Hello? Are there any lights? Oh, thank you.
Greetings, guest. How may I address you?
I guess you can just call me Amelia.
Greetings, Amelia. Do you require refreshment?
Well, we stopped for a bite to eat, but I'm still quite dehydrated.
Ice water.
Oh, heavenly. Oh. But marooned again, I suppose. Well, at least there's a Davenport. House, do you know how to make something called Kung Pao chicken?
Yes, Amelia.
I just tried it at this cafe I popped into this afternoon. Quaint little Chinese place. Very spicy.
I will add the ingredients to the pantry, Amelia.
Thank you. Oh, heavens!
Hello, Amelia.
Calvert, what are you doing here?
I got your message.
My message? Oh. Well, I sent that a month ago, Calvert.
Is everything all right now?
Yes. I suppose I was just lonely for a familiar face. But what's happened to you, though, Calvert? You've changed so much. Your hair is so white. You seem so much...
Older?
Well, yes.
It's been 6 months since I brought you here. For me, it's been considerably longer.
Heavens.
I've been traveling alone for a long time, Amelia. I suppose I'm lonely for a familiar face, too.
Well, I'm certainly happy to catch up. I guess I wasn't expecting...
Amelia, come with me.
What?
Come travel with me.
Travel with you? How?
The same way we left Nikumaroro. I want you to travel through time with me.
Should I?
When I brought you here, I wanted you to heal, to rest, but I also wanted you to come with me. I knew I couldn't ask that, so I left.
I wanted to go with you, but I was exhausted.
You'd had a bad day.
But I've had time to rest.
Yes. And I was hoping...
Yes. I will go with you, Calvert.
I'm so glad.
I just need to go up to change into something more suited for adventuring. Is that all right? Do we have time?
Oh, of course. I'll wait down here if that's all right.
I'll be 2 shakes. Rook to queen, over.
Queen to rook. Any news? Over.
Codename Herbert George just arrived, battered but intact. Is the plan still in place?
Project Castle awaits your signal, rook.
Project Castle is go, queen.
Project is engaged, rook. Hail Chaturanga.
Hail Chaturanga. Over and out.
You have been listening to Exoplanetary, Nikumaroro, written by C. Christopher Hart.
Directed by Stephanie Leet.
Performed by C. Christopher Hart as Calvert Wolverton.
Skye Stafford as Amelia Earhart.
And Stephanie Leet as House.
Produced by C. Christopher Hart.
Music provided by Jacob Jansen.
Sound effects by Danger Marshall.
This play, the characters, situations, and associated intellectual property, copyright 2019 by C. Christopher Hart, all rights reserved. Recorded at the Willamette Radio Workshop in sunny Portland, Oregon. Hope you enjoyed that, friends. This is the part of the show where I read a review that we've received from a listener. Now, this one is from a U.S. listener on Apple Podcasts named Sherry24. And here's what they say. There are 2 things that make me fall for a podcast, and Exoplanetary has it in spades. Follow the sometimes delightful, sometimes love/hate-worthy Wolvertons on a journey through both inner and outer universes. Thank you so much. Yes, Calvert is a little hate-worthy sometimes. He definitely went too far this time. And we all make mistakes, but most of us don't do it with time machines, androids, and lasers. Good thing to think about if you're getting into science. We love hearing from listeners. If you can, please send us a review on your favorite podcast source. We're on most of them, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Himalaya, Stitcher, and Player FM. You can also find us on social media. We post pictures at Exoplanetary on Instagram. If you send me some fan art, we'll probably post it there too. We're on Facebook at Exoplanetary Media and on Twitter at Exoplanetary Pod. Hope to see you here next time. Keep washing those hands. Keep looking after each other. We're going to get through this together. So hang in there, friends.